releasing toxins. Why is it important to release toxins?
So you and make room for good things to come in.
Okay? It helps with the digestive. It helps with weight loss. Right? So, do we also talk about probiotics? Right? A lot of you is like, what's a probiotic? This is a probiotic I personally use, kombucha, right? I wanted to give you guys, don't shake it, don't shake it, don't shake it. It's not juice, it's carbonated. So, no, nice and easy, you don't want to shake that up, it's carbonated. So, this is a particular brand that I personally use, I love it. Some of them taste differently. I'm not going to tell you that all probiotics taste good, y'all. This particular brand has a couple good flavors that I like. They have the watermelon, they have the gingerberry, and a couple other flavors. You just have to try them out for yourself to see which one you like. But I particularly like this particular brand, okay? Why is it good to take a probiotic? Does anybody recall?
It cleans you out, right? The good
Whoa,
bacteria.
Come on, say it out loud so everybody can hear.
To keep the good bacteria in your gut.
You want good bacteria in your gut, right? So, when we talk about good bacteria, you ever pass gas and it smells like something just died, like it's just been in there forever? Guess what? You have something that is in your gut that's been in there way too long, and that's the odors that you're releasing. That's the bad bacteria that's in there. You want to make sure that you're flushing your system. We're also talking about how often you should be using the restroom. It should be multiple times a day, not just once a day, not once every other day, not once a week, but you should be using the restroom a couple times a day, flushing your system normally like an hour to an hour and a half after you eat, especially if you're drinking water. Water was week 1. We talked about water and the importance of being hydrated and drinking water, cleansing your system, using water as a detox, flushing all the bad stuff out, making sure all the good stuff stays in, right? This week, what was the assignment? What was the homework?
Send you a topic.
To inbox me topics that you guys were interested in, right? And I said the person that gave me the most, the topic that got the most traction was the topic that we're going over this particular week. The topic of the week, everybody wanted to know. Good carbs versus bad carbs. Yay! All right. Everybody's always talking about carbs. I should cut my carbs. You should cut carbs, but you should also think about it. Your body needs carbs. What do carbs provide your body? Number 1. Say it out loud. Energy, right? So sometimes if you're feeling like, damn, I just feel drained, I haven't been eating like I normally do, you're probably doing one or two things. You're not eating the right amount of good carbs, and you're eating the simple carbs that your body burns through, and it also increases your hunger, right? Do you ever eat and then like a little bit while after, you're like, damn, I'm hungry again, right? Those carbs that you're putting into your body, guess what? Spike your sugar levels. Pass them out. Go ahead and pass them out so they can taste it. I want to get you guys' opinion, what you guys think. those basic carbs spike your sugar levels and everything.
Thank you.
Spike your sugar levels, and guess what? They don't serve any purpose to your body. The body breaks carbs down into sugar, right? Sugars, if they're simple carbs, the sugars break down into fat, right? Most of us are here because we are on our weight loss journey, right? So if we're wondering like, damn, why am I not losing weight? Well, we have to identify, are we putting the proper fuel into the body? Are we putting the right kind of carbs into our body? So I broke it down in the most simplistic way that I could. So we can go into a little bit more detail today. But let's start off with the bad carbs. I always like to end with positivity. We'll start off, we won't say really bad, but carbs that don't serve your body, right? They don't really have too much of a purpose. So, what do simple carbs do? Simple carbs are low in fiber. They're empty calories that turn into fat. They make you feel tired and sluggish. So, times a day when you eat and you're like, damn, I want to just take a nap. You probably ate a simple carb that's not giving you any kind of energy. And examples of things like that are white breads, sugars, brown or white sugar, doesn't serve you any purpose. Fruit juices, we've talked about that in the past. White rice, pastries like muffins, cupcakes, all that kind of stuff. Candies, cookies. Some people are like, well, you know, I snack on pretzels. Pretzels is a simple carb. It doesn't serve any purpose to your body. Chips. How many of us snack on chips sometimes? Don't serve any kind of purpose. Sugar and cereals. A lot of times what I see, especially with parents, you guys are in rushes, right? What do we buy the kids?
Cereal.
Cereal, right? We're like, okay, I'm in a rush. I don't have time to make my child breakfast in the morning. I'm going to give them a bowl of cereal. Sugar. Right? So, you got to think about this. Your kid, first thing in the morning, wakes up, the body's looking for nutrition. We're giving it sugar. We're giving it a simple carb. Now, where is that kid going right after having that bowl of cereal?
To school.
School, right? Now you have a kid that's at school, sitting down, having a little sugar rush, and their body is about to crash. So a lot of teachers say what? Oh, your kid is not attentive. He's not paying attention. You know, he's fidgety. He's falling asleep in class. All these things. Guess what the root of it is? It's what we're putting in our bodies. It's the simple sugars that we're putting in our bodies that's not serving that kid any kind of nutrition. So it goes hand in hand, right? Now, some people is like, well, I do the instant oatmeal. How many of us buy the instant oatmeal? Okay. Couple people. Same thing with the instant oatmeal. The ones that like, you got the brown sugar flavor, you got the cinnamon apple pack, you got all those kind of things. Same concept. It's the simple, huh? It has a little bit of fiber, but it's more sugar. Your body's gonna look at it as sugar, right? It's gonna burn through it. It's gonna make you feel like shit probably within the next 30 minutes to an hour. Your body's gonna be ready for its next meal. The reason why you want foods that are high in fiber is gonna make you feel fuller, longer, plus your body takes longer to break it down, so it doesn't spike your sugar levels. Right? Your insulin levels aren't going up and then dropping and doing this all day. You don't want this with your sugar levels, right? You want your body to burn it nice and evenly so it maintains energy throughout the day. Okay? So, now, if we're looking at the simple carbs that don't serve our body, then we have to look on the opposite side. The complex carbs that do serve our body. Those are things that are high in fiber. They speed up our metabolism, right? They make us feel fuller longer because then we're not eating as many calories throughout the day, right? If we're always hungry throughout the day, every 30 minutes to an hour, obviously you're not putting in the right fuel, right? Some simple examples of things that you have to look, that you go from. So instead of eating the white bread, what is our alternative? Whole grain bread, right? Instead of eating white rice, what do we have?
Brown rice.
Brown rice or quinoa, right? For protein, you get your beans, your lentils, all your different kind of legumes, right? You want to snack on nuts and seeds instead of muffins and candy. You want to eat your oatmeal plain oatmeal as much as possible. You can sweeten it up with like fruits and berries, huh?
And honey.
Yeah, you put like a little bit of honey, but I would say personally, get some blueberries, get some raspberries, get some blackberries, sprinkle some of that on there, put a little bit of cinnamon.
That's what I've been doing with chia seeds.
Yeah, so chia seeds, great way to make sure you get enough fiber. Chia seeds are also going to have your omega-3s and omega-6s, healthy fats. Okay? There are such thing as a healthy fat, right? You want a little bit of healthy fat every single day. Where were we at? So, also with the oatmeal, right? Now, oatmeal you want to eat early in the day, right? You want to eat that so your body has time to process it, right? With the fruits and everything. You also, sweet potatoes. Baking sweet potatoes, not frying sweet potatoes. And not adding, how many of us have yams for the holidays? Anybody have yams and sweet potatoes for the holidays? Mm-hmm. I should hear somebody say yeah. Can I hear?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. How do we make that?
Sugar.
A lot of butter,
Sugar
a
and
lot
butter.
of sugar. That's not what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about cutting your sweet potato in half, putting a little bit of oil, maybe a little bit of salt, putting it into the oven, letting it cook until it gets nice and soft and edible, and eating it just like that. Not putting a whole bunch of butter, not letting it marinate in the pot all freaking night, and then eating that so it puts you into a food coma. That's not what we're looking for. That's not going to give us energy, right? Also, your vegetables are going to be complex carbs, right? When you're eating your vegetables, those are carbs. Those are good carbs. We tell you to eat your vegetables. So when people say, I need to cut my carbs, you have to really identify with what you're talking about. They're talking about simple carbs. They're not talking about complex carbs. You need complex carbs to have energy and be functional. Now, what is the importance of making sure that you're putting the right carbs in your body? You have to make sure the health issues that you can run into when you're putting simple carbs into your body. You're going to run into type 2 diabetes. If you continue to overload on simple carbs, it leads to type 2 diabetes. It also leads to heart disease. It also leads to obesity. Why do you think it leads to obesity?
Oh, that's sugar.
Sugar leads to what?
More fat, I don't know.
Sugar leads to what? We just talked about. Sugar leads to fat, right? The simple carbs lead to fat, right? What does it do? It makes you lazy, it makes you tired, so you're not working out, you're sitting back. The way your body breaks it down, it makes you constantly hungry. You're never feeling full because you're not getting enough fiber in your diet. So you have to understand, this is a direct correlation with this, right? So if you're saying like, I want to lose weight, I want to drop, you definitely want to cut everything on this side of the menu, right? And you see this at the house, you're like, I need to stop putting this in my body, I need to stop feeding this to my kids. Because why do we think kids are getting type 2 diabetes at a younger age? Because we feed them a lot of things that correlate on this side of the menu, right? We're giving them a lot of cereals. We're giving them a lot of things high in sugar, right? That's why a lot of these processed foods and everything are leading to type 2 diabetes. That's why people are getting it younger and younger, right? So if we eliminate this, we start eliminating these in our community. Does that make sense? We have to get back to this side of the menu. Okay? Now, just on this particular subject, do you guys have a better understanding of what a complex carb is and what a simple carb is?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a question.
Question. So not necessarily the brown bread. It has to be whole bread.
Yeah, so the one with you ever go to the store and you see the one with the nuts and seeds and
little
stuff like that? Yeah. That's what you want to do because it's going to have more fiber and everything. It's going to help you digest it a lot better. Okay, it's going to keep you full. Go ahead, Gabby.
Is there any such thing as too much fiber?
Too much fiber? No. Too much fiber, it's going to run through you. Fiber is what helps flush your system and make you full. So you can't overload on fiber because you're just going to dump it.
Oh.
Yeah. So, go ahead. Question. Huh? Yeah, we're not talking about any kind of meat products. So, I teach mostly on plant-based nutrition. So, cutting out a lot of the meat, the fish, all that kind of stuff, the dairy. Dairy, also another thing that you guys want to stay away from. Another thing, how many of us tasted the kombucha? Okay? How many of us liked it? It was cool, right? So it's not something that you have to drink every single day. You can have it every other day, but something that you want to start implementing on a weekly basis. It's going to help with keeping that good bacteria in your stomach. Also, another thing that's very affordable that you guys can all pick up from the store. What is it?
That's no joke.
Smooth move.
Smooth Move tea, right? We're talking about it.
Got some of that.
Smooth Move tea. Something simple that you can have at the end of the day, right? You have this, it helps flush your system in the morning time. So what are we supposed to be drinking first thing in the morning? Water, right? So we have a little bit of Smooth Move tea, and then in the morning time, we drink our water. That's going to help everything start to flush, right? Getting out all that bad bacteria that we have in our gut that we don't want to sit for too long because we get gassy, we get bloated. It just throws off your entire system. All right, you can pass this around if you guys want to check it out.
Have you checked
Huh? Yeah, it helps flush your system.
I never had it before.
So you can find that.
No, not cramping. That other tea do though.
Yeah, in the evening time, you have a glass of tea before you go to bed. And then by the time, like I said, by the time you wake up and you drink your water in the morning time, it helps stimulate your system. It helps flush your system. So you're not getting backed up, you're not getting that bloated feeling. So when you have your first meal of the day, when you have some complex carbs, you're able to process it. Okay?
She said, does it make you cramp? It doesn't, right?
Cramp or crap?
Cramp.
Cramp? No, I haven't experienced it. Now, is it possible? You know, it might be, you know, somebody that does make you cramp, but not that I've heard of.
What, that small move?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it do.
Cramp?
Love that.
Oh, like you gotta use the bathroom?
It's bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never, probably similar. I've never seen that brand, but yeah.
Yeah.
If it helps flush your system.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it,
Is it green?
yeah,
So,
it's green. Yep.
let's bring it back in. Let's bring the energy back to the class. So, any other questions? Any other questions? No?
You should only drink smooth move once a night.
In the evening time.
Maybe
Yeah.
start on
So I say like 30 minutes before you go to bed, have you a glass of tea,
Friday night.
Stay at home.
lay it down. When you wake up in the morning time, drink your water. And like I said, it's not like an X-Lax or anything where it's gonna just make you go all the time. It stimulates your system so it's easier to get everything going in the morning time. So that's just helping us. Going off the topic of detoxifying, last week I wanted to give you guys some tools that you can find at your local store where you can be like, well, what can I use? Well, these are a couple things that you can use. Very cost efficient. I think a whole box of tea is like $2, maybe $3. At that, you can find it at Walmart. You can find it at any of your local grocery stores for the most part in the tea section. The kombucha, same thing. That particular brand, I see it at all the different stores that I go to. They have all different kind of flavors. If that didn't really speak to you, that particular flavor, I say just try out different flavors. They have so many different kinds. If you don't have to, I don't drink soda or anything. I like it because it's carbonated. It has a little bubble feeling, so I get my little bubble fix when I have a little bit of kombucha. That's why I was telling y'all, don't shake it up.
That little bubble out, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
What is good for?
so that's probiotics for your son. Huh?
It's like carbonated soda.
Yeah, you're not supposed to shake it up.
What about
The ginger kombucha?
That are what? Probiotics? A lot of those have, guess what? Sugars that you don't want to put in your body. So,
I need some time.
they have the sugars.
sugar in it?
That's what makes it sparkling, baby.
So any other questions going with the topic of the day?
Yeah.
We good? We have a good understanding?
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Look around, like, is there too much kombucha that you can drink, like too many probiotics, or are there certain times of the day or night?
Probiotics. So me personally, I like to have it in the evening time, but it's usually, you can have like 8 ounces twice a day. That's not gonna hurt you. Like, usually when you drink it, you feel satisfied anyways. So it's not something that you're gonna sit there and just drink that whole thing throughout the day. So I would say maybe twice a day in the afternoon, in the evening time, have around like 8 ounces. 8 ounces of kombucha. Another question.
So, because the probiotics, they say yogurt is high in probiotics, but that is not cool because it's dairy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that's why I was trying to give you guys other options that you could look at. So, you guys ever heard of Mother's? What's that called?
But it's made tea.
No, not the tea. The apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. So that
That's what
also.
it tastes like to
Yeah,
me.
it do.
Huh?
That's
Yeah.
what it tastes like to me.
Yeah.
With fish.
Yeah, similar kind of thing, but this has the fizz. I like the fizz, right? So, also, make sure when you go to the store, because this is, what is that called? how they do the alcohol. I'm trying to think of the word. Fermented. So they have two types. They have one with a black seal on them.
Okay.
The black seal means that it has a little, it's been fermented so long that it has a little bit more alcohol.
Hold on,
because
what's
it's
that word?
Fermented.
Fermented.
That means the fruit has been kept on.
Yeah, that's how you make wine and alcohol. Yeah. So they have one that has a black tab around it.
Yes.
So that means that's more alcohol. That's like having like a wine cooler or like a beer or something like that. So just to know, you have to be 21 or up to buy the one with the black lid.
Then it's okay to have it.
I don't drink alcohol. Me personally. I mean, everybody has life choices, but it is a probiotic.
But
That's
it's
what I'm
natural
saying.
alcohol.
It's your 2
Yeah, it's natural alcohol.
Right.
But I just want to let you know, if you go to the store and you just grab enough and they card
That's true.
you like, what is this? So they have the one with the white lid, and then they have the one with the black one. The only difference between the lids, one just means it's been sitting longer, so it has more alcohol content.
It's like when you have to do the break around.
Yeah.
It's a little distinctive.
The apple cider vinegar with the mother. Is that poor or not?
I take shots every once
A
in a
little
while.
water, you gotta not do that. That's serious.
Yeah, that's something, like I said, you have that because it helps as a probiotic clean out your system and everything. I would say only like a tablespoon or two, like a small little shot of it. But me personally, for my system, I like kombucha better for a probiotic than drinking mother all the time. And that's just me. Everybody, you have to see, I tell people you have to try things out for your own system and see how your body reacts. If it works for your body and you get the results that you're looking for from it, then go for it. Now, if it's something that doesn't sit well with your system, then try these other options. Okay? Because not everything's going to work for everybody. You have to see what works for your system. It's not one solution works for everybody.
Because I heard that one is like, it can help with alkali in the body, and then I hear that it's acidic.
That's why moderation with that. That's why I said just a little bit.
So you can take the probiotic pill too if you don't. Would you recommend that too?
There's a whole bunch of different ways you can take probiotics. I was just showing you, I only like talking from things that I've actually had experience with. So this is something that I actually use that I want to share with you guys and say, if it works for you, this is one of the tools that you can add to your tool belt. Now, are there other probiotics you can use? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different other probiotics. I don't have experience with them, so I don't want to speak on something I don't have experience with. But you can go ahead and, like I said, try out different things and see what works with your body the best. But I find this is an easy way to introduce a probiotic to your system. Does that make sense, y'all? Okay. So like I said, I don't want to make these videos in this class too long for y'all, giving y'all way too much information. I want y'all to take this, absorb it, utilize it in your daily life, pass it on to your kids and your family and your loved ones, and give them the information so we can spread the wealth throughout the wealth and the health throughout our community. Does that make sense, y'all? The wealth and the health. Wealth is health. All right? All right, I'll see y'all next week. We're going to have another topic. All right, let's take our picture real quick.